Hello and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns. Today we're pleased to bring you another Minish Cap Randomizer tournament match. It is Season 2, Swiss Round 2, and today we have Myth versus ArtemisMyths, one of our longtime runners and someone who's been in the randomizer community for the Minish Cap as well as any percent versus someone a lot newer to the randomizer. And I'm joined today on commentary by iBot. And how you doing today, iBot?
Hello. Yeah, which, like, as you already said, like, Myth has been around this community for ages, whereas Artemis got probably directed shortly before the start of this journey, actually.
Yes.
Only, like, hasn't been around for a long time, which doesn't mean that Myth is just a clear favorite for this match. But then Myth is also known to sometimes do some, let's say, not quite optimal plays or routing decisions.
Questionable.
Yeah, questionable routing. And yeah. So we'll see, like, if this is gonna end up being a non-element Cave of Flames that you have to quadruple dip.
Yes, because yeah,
if you only leave after every item. Or something like that.
Yeah, because Myth lost against Dax in
yes,
Swiss
Round. So round 1, both of these guys took a loss. Myth lost against Dax, also one of the stronger runners of the run. Artemis lost against Splits, who's been around for a while, but not that long.
Yep, so it should be interesting. Not a very interesting hash today. I'm kind of disappointed. Oh, and also for everyone watching, this is a Hayden seed, so there could be some shenanigans. There's probably going to be some trollage.
Yeah, clearly that hash says to Rush Bakery Attic.
Yes. Oh, and do chickens, because chickens lay eggs.
Always.
Yes, always do chickens. So, Link's house. Oh, wow. Well, interesting.
Starting with a sword.
At least something to start out with.
Yeah, that's a nice enough start.
Yes.
Do immediately get access to that South Harrowfield puddle cave, which is the first, like, step on any seed. Interestingly, Myth didn't set his quick pop a ton.
Oh.
And this cave is underwhelming. A boomerang and a butterfly.
At least the boomerang's good for stunning. Oh, and Kane.
Kane in the tower.
Yes, interesting.
Let's hope Myth doesn't decide to... Yeah, let's skip tower for a while.
I know.
Like, he has maybe, like, usually you would already have done tower. And Myth has skipped Link's house before and it immediately had something, and... That just feels like the sort of thing that would happen to me.
Yes. Oh,
There's a shield. That doesn't do anything right now, but might come in useful later.
Oh, and I believe that was the arrow butterfly.
Yeah, that is. So, out of the 3 butterflies, probably the one that you want to get the most.
Yes.
And that looked like no palace, no droplets for elements.
That does not mean that dips into those areas will not be required.
No, it just means that, like, those can still have some things. This is not Wind Waker Randomizer. It just means that you hope you don't have to go there, especially for Palace.
And looks like shop not required, so don't need any of those wallets. Oh, and Myth not last location is Kane, which is good.
Now, he wouldn't last location it, it's just...
Or, well...
It's a question of how long would he try to delay this.
Yes, I'm getting a look at the tingle trees.
No, Barrow, when we say Myth, we mean the runner on our left, the other runner is Artemis.
Yes.
Just to not confuse.
Yes. Like when we had Dr. Shocky and Sharky 2107, and if you said Shocky and Sharky, it pretty much sounded the same.
Yeah, that sounds like fun watches.
Yes.
And here's Myth doing what we were talking about earlier, rushing Bakery Attic. We'll see if that carries off.
Oh, and there's an unnecessary wallet in the Tingle Trees.
Yeah, one more Tingle Tree to go. Hey, there's a spin in the Bakery
That's
Attic.
nice. Let's go rush Simon.
That's 2 checks in in Tribby right now, and more when I find a bottle. Well,
Did you notice which spin
Not
scroll
really.
it was?
Hmm?
Did you notice which spin?
no, we don't. There's no way to know.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay.
Like, the only way you could get that sort of info is freestanding in, specifically great spin.
Okay.
Yeah, Artemis making early use of that cane, checking those few checks out of Southern Valley Falls. Gonna make their way over towards Minish Woods, probably stepping in the London pot on the way here. I'd imagine they check Orphan Ferry. Whereas Smith is using their cane in town to get those Minish checks. Vanilla London Key is a thing.
Interesting. Yes. We'll see if
That
there's
does give access to 2 more checks here. Is that right? No, it gives even more. It's access to Northern Minish Woods
Yes.
and like Golden Cave. That's really interesting. So if that locks like for that to be recorded, it has to lock both Cane and Cape and Flippers probably. Not Cane, Cape and Flippers. Or Cape and one of Flippers and Mids, so that's like Lake access.
Ammunition upgrade, but nothing to use it with. And,
Is that a kinstone? That is a kinstone on the post Cape Cave hard piece.
I was watching Myth. He's doing... That's Hendrix Ledge, isn't it?
No, this is a
Otherwise-
school.
Oh, that's a school.
Hendrix Ledge is the hard ledge that's like.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Interestingly, Artemis is not going for either the above HB hole or any of the Northern Minish Woods checks. If you found the London Key there, you should probably just go for those.
Oh, and Myth finding the boots.
Boots on the school Minish path.
Yeah, unable to get those other checks.
So, yeah, the actual school top wasn't quite loaded, but boots on the Minish path are good enough.
And let's see if Karlov has anything. Nope. And I missed, what did the fairy have? Anything?
The fairy just had rupees.
Okay, so nothing.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a kinstone. I missed which one it was. Was that a Cloud Tops? It looks like it was a Cloud Tops. At least based on their tracker.
Yeah, that. I'm pretty sure that's not a tracker on Artemis side.
Yes,
So.
I believe so as well. And going back into Lalon area. I think they might be slightly confused about where to go next.
Yeah, I imagine like they are looking at their tracker, seeing the Northern Woods checks, and not knowing how to get there. And Fayoshi, I'm not sure if you're trying to make a reference to my boots movement being horrible, or if you mixed something up there, because I'm not playing in the seat.
Hey, Hendrix.
So Artemis is now back in town. might pick up those boots, as Henris pointed out earlier. Those do open a few checks in London. They do also open a few checks in Courtyard.
Yeah, no Fire
So
Yoshi.
that's pretty much it.
I actually got to a look at the seed because I had to check out the hash and the elements, so it would have been kind of cheating if I was running it right now. Yes, Hendra, someone else would have to restream the weeklies, and I don't see that happening anytime soon, so there.
I mean, it sounded like you got a whole lot of new restreamers, and I'm sure someone will...
Not if I don't let them. I guess that's my that's my only way of being safe from the weekly.
Well, yes, if you decide not to join a weekly and instead restream out of them, that's...
Yep, that's true, Tomoltot. I'll take that. Okay, I'm checking.
But are you sure you don't want to join the weekly just for practice, you know?
Would you host? Would I get hosted afterwards? You probably wouldn't want to put me on restream because that's gonna be like a train wreck. Oh, and Myth finding another sword. In
yeah, green sword behind those boots.
That's Courtyard, right?
Yes, this is a
Courtyard.
Castle Courtyard.
Yes.
Or Hyrule Castle Garden, or
Okay.
usually we call it the Courtyard. Yes. Looks like Artemis is going for the... No?
There's more likelihood of
Maybe
me running... I'm sorry. Me running the weekly than of Trez. Yeah, we just have limited space on the tracker right now for items.
It's just that the wallets are less useful to have on there because they can be seen on the stream. Like,
yes.
You can tell what wallet a runner has by just looking at their rupees.
Yes, as long as they are actually picking up rupees.
Well, you can also tell from the icon next to that.
Oh, that's true.
Shield can be required for the scrubs.
Yes.
And Boomerang can be required in some really, really contrived circumstances. Okay, shields can also be required to access checks in Cave of Flames, but that's probably even rarer than Boomerang being required.
Oh, and Artemis picking up their boots.
Yes, so they probably take those to Courtyard soon-ish. They probably also take them to London. Oh, yeah, Swiftblade is also a check that's locked by boots. And yes, that is a vanilla London key. And now we don't yet know if it's going to be required. There's a lot of checks behind it that Artemis didn't check yet, that Myth is probably going to go for now.
Oh yeah, especially having those boots.
Yeah, these are two checks that Artemis hasn't done over here.
And green rupee and...
Oh yeah, playing this random with keyboard is not, like, an issue. I don't know. It's... like, you don't have any analog input, so there's no downside to using a keyboard.
Okay, and now I guess we get to see what kinstone that is. Actually, can they access the Kinstone?
No, you need Cape and Mids for that.
Okay, yeah, I know. I'm still noob to this.
Yeah, it's gotta be Minish Woods or like Goron Cave. And Goron Cave is the more fun option because it would suggest a required London key. So there's Artemis also fighting that green sword. Slightly behind, but not like that far? I don't know. Like, Myth is in a better position to go on to boss Minish Woods right now. That's basically the difference. Yes, Rockbreaker was also not yet checked, but feels way less likely when there is still a lot of Minish Loop to check.
Yeah, I feel that, Tomotachi. I'm exactly the same way.
Yeah, like we mentioned earlier, Artemis is just a newer runner, so probably haven't 100% this game, well, Rando 100% like gotten every check as often as Myth has. Because for some reason Myth likes doing that, even when it's not required by the seed.
Oh. And Myth getting his Cloudtop's Kinstone.
Yeah, so now they're just even in terms of progression, and Myth is in a closer check to get those leftover checks.
Ooh,
and there's a bump back!
Yes, nice.
Bump back opens, well, the Bellari area. And, like, under school, the Chicken Eastern Hills. It's not that much, actually. Well, if Artemis doesn't know how to get to the North Minish Woods checks in Goron Cove, they should just be going to regular Minish Woods, which I'm sure they know how to get to, and do those checks. And
I think they're feeling
keep making progress, because that's actually where they need to go. Like, they don't need to go through those checks right now. They don't have anything. And just trying to figure out how to get there when you have other options is maybe not the best.
Yes. Oh, and Bellari having a bow.
Bow is not progression right now, is it?
Oh, and was that?
Dogfood might be.
Okay. Oh, and there's our red sword.
That is progression. That's
Yes.
access to Western Woods.
Yeah, to me it looked like Artemis was like a little lost, like they were. Oh, and the lamp. Like they weren't sure what to do without a cape or flippers.
Yeah, but they figured it out.
Yes.
It's just, like, still the play they need to make
Yes.
is over to Minish Woods. So there's a dog food turn-in from Myth. Not anything there.
Nope.
Also going to go for these this cave check. I completely missed that they found lantern, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that just makes this like something you want to get. You can when you're in the area. And there's the bomb back for Artemis. Probably not feeling all that great about getting this late after having like since like that's you just need the sword to reach that.
Yeah, and Artemis hasn't gotten their spin scroll yet either.
Right, spin was over in the bakery attic, which is
Yes.
something that is required to. Why is Myth not going to Western Woods? Like, sure, these are checks you can get on the way, but also Western Woods. Like,
I guess we'll have to ask him about his Western Woods aversion today.
yeah, like he even has a bow
Yes.
to do stuff in Castor after. I mean, I guess I can see not wanting to orphan these checks and like this are things you will want to do anyways, and you're passing through. But
Oh, this is Hendra's Ledge, right?
this is Henry's ledge. Well, it's half ledge because Myth hasn't done Blue Chew, but yes.
Okay, well, it's only a green rupee, so...
Well, yeah, like I said, he hasn't done Green Chew,
Yes.
Blue Chew, so why would it be anything?
Yeah, of course. And...
Yeah, with the way he's playing this, he's not gonna skip Percy. A clear misplay. Like...
Well, this could be the time that Percy has something. Oh, and...
Percy never has anything, though.
Yes, he did the other day.
No, that didn't happen.
Oh, and there's a lot of scrolls in there, and another kinstone.
That's a very false
Oh, wow.
Kinstone. Not as important since we don't yet have the grip ring.
Oh, and the mushroom.
And yeah, lots of scrolls. That was it 2 spin scrolls and Rockbreaker or
Not sure. I know
Fast
they were both
spin,
green.
Rockbreaker, and
green
Roll Attack?
scrolls. Oh, and
no?
there's where
something.
the lamp was.
Yes, someone in chat said. Earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, the very false Kinstone is like when Paris isn't required, you kind of don't want to ever find it, but on the other hand, it like with the grip ring does open up quite a few checks in those Rupee Mania spots, so it's not that bad to find it. It does make Cloud Hop Kinstones a lot more scary from this point onwards, though.
Oh, there's the graveyard key.
Yeah, Graveyard Key, Tingle Trophy, Great Spin, and a book. And
Well, the graveyard key is required
skipping
today.
Percy. I approve. So, are there other options besides caster? Well, okay, like they have gotten Tingle Trophy and they have a cane, so they can turn that in. There's like under the school, there's... What are the other checks? Like, oh, they found a mushroom.
Oh yeah, Ram.
Not a whole lot of checks. Like, nothing big besides caster. I don't think Myth talked to Ren yet. Like, turned into a mushroom yet.
No. But you know, Rem never has anything anyways. Just like Percy, Rem, and Karlov generally have nothing.
Well, yeah, I guess. Kind of sometimes has something. Especially when Orion just has to skip him for long.
Oh yeah, no, I remember Karlov having something during a seed I rolled for the tournament. Karlov and Karlov medal. Both required.
That's another Cloudhop Skin Stone. Those are the ones that they really don't want to see. Like, Palace isn't an element, you don't want Cloudhop Skin Stones. I mean, this is a Hayden seed, right? So it's not entirely unexpected that they'll have to go to Palace. But still, finding the Velfor Skinstone and 2 Cloudhop Skinstone before any caster Skinstones, not so good.
No. No. No Simon yet.
No, neither runner has done Simon yet. Probably won't for a while.
Was one of those spin gauge?
Those were fast split, fast spin, and rock breaker.
Okay. I was trying to read the text, but it was so fast.
Oh yeah, I just went by having looked at Myth's track after
Okay.
picked them up. We keep letting Hayden roll seeds because it's a good viewing experience.
Yes, it's good for the viewers, not... Oh, plus...
Plus, who else would you have roll seeds? Hendris? Myth? Like,
Well,
those are better options.
what about... Yeah, and then there's me. Oh, and... I bought... Did you see what I saw?
Percy didn't have anything.
Well, if he hadn't checked the Moblin, he wouldn't have gotten that sword.
Look.
It's part of the same progression.
You don't need that blue sword until later anyways.
Yeah.
Never mind that. That
yeah,
just gives them the element in graveyard, right?
Yeah, just last location, one of your swords. It's fine.
Well, you don't need to last location it, but like, you can delay it a bit, right?
Yes. Oh, you mean...
There's not going to be anything in graveyard that they need.
Okay, and Tingle had nothing. Looked like it was just a big green rupee.
Yeah. But yes, Adam is actually getting that blue sword before the graveyard key, so probably going to be even more inclined to just go over to graveyard immediately.
Okay. And Myth giving us a rem check. Since the Moblin had something, yep, it was guaranteed that Rem would have nothing.
Yeah. And yes, Artemis, like, not doing any of the castle checks, just going over towards
Oh, and Myth setting
what
up.
I imagine is a crypt play.
Yeah, Myth setting up for a save scum for Simon. So Simon, boomer bust, iBot.
Ah, no, this won't be anything.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bust. Yeah, having that spin does make things easier.
Like, maybe it would have had something and
Oh.
Myth didn't do it early.
Magic boomerang.
Well, that's
It's
almost nothing.
yes.
Like, not quite nothing enough for Myth to reset it away there, but almost nothing.
Is having the magical boomerang any better against the scissor beetles, or it doesn't really matter?
Well, you can, like, maneuver the boomerang around after you throw it, which is what the magic, like, that's what
The magic
makes
part,
magical boomerang
okay.
magical. And I guess it can help against, like, scissor beetles. Like, with the normal boomerang, you either have to hit them in the side or, like, set it up so you hit them on the return or whatever. With the magical boomerang, you can kind of
Wing
hit them
it.
in the sides without being on their side.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
that sort of thing. But really, it's...
The hitbox is
like,
bigger.
even for the scissor beetle fights, it's not that big of an upgrade over
Okay.
the normal boomerang. And yes, it can activate, like, the crystal switch in the HC, which is...
so
I don't know if that would ever be, like become something required, but
in both runners and graveyard.
I don't
yeah?
think it can. Maybe it can. With, like, OpenDHC or whatever. Or, like, if you somehow find...
There are the mitts in graveyard.
Like, not in these settings. Yes, the myths are an interesting find here.
Yes. They are going to be required.
Yeah, they're not what I expected to find as the next progression. Like, I have expected, like, either, like, Cape of Flippers or just a bottle
Yes.
or something like that. Myths do give access to some checks, but it's not that much of a, like, access to new areas type thing as those other items would have been.
Oh,
And
there's
there's
the
a grip
grip
ring.
Yes.
That puts
Interesting.
Upper Falls into play.
So since they got the grip ring, the bottle's not completely required.
Oh no, the bottle is still required
Oh,
for
still
Krainer.
okay.
I
thought it was.
Yeah, that's why, like, that doesn't help with Krenel at all right now.
Okay.
They still need to find a bottle before that is an option. That's why I only talked about Upper Falls.
Okay.
Because that's where the grouping gives them access to right now. There's also the fact that that opens up cloud tops, yes. Like, they can now full clear cloud tops.
Ew.
Yeah, exactly, without cape. So, one random item in the crypt here. See what it is on this side shortly. But yeah, no, at this point it's more likely to be in Upper Way Falls. Well,
Oh, Myth
when I said
had some
shortly, I
trouble
didn't expect Myth to get hit and his clones destroyed twice.
by the spike.
Yeah.
Oh.
And for nothing.
Yeah.
And Artemis having a lot less trouble with the green trap, so... there's no random item on the king because it's an element.
Okay,
So that's why they are here, like, as earlier. Well, I guess they would have checked a non-element trip at this point as well, but, like... Yeah, that's the first element.
Yes.
Just over 30 minutes. Not the fastest we've had, but also not that slow.
Yeah, I think the fastest, wasn't it like 8 and 12? Something like that.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, it was really fast. Oh, and Myth taking those myths. I'm gonna do some myths checks.
Yeah, I guess myths are the... Like, you want to check these checks on the way.
Yes.
But you would make your way over to way forwards, right?
Yes. Is he gonna do the town myths checks next?
Yeah, you do want to do town digging if you're
Yes.
going, like... These are some relatively quick checks.
Yes. Not finding anything yet.
Whereas Artemis is just making their way straight over to Vale Falls. Not bothering to check any, like, digging checks on the way. Which is likely to work out, but... Like, Myth's play is definitely the safer one.
Yes.
Checking, like, digging checks on the way. Whereas Artemis is more going for the... Hoping that the seed's nice and that the progression is on the way.
I don't know.
Which could be a strategy to beat Myth here. Like...
And again, I'm not sure if Artemis has ever played a Hayden seed.
Yeah... Maybe saying that, like, hoping for the seed to be nice isn't it, but, like, just following the direction of the
Yes.
seed more.
The logic, yes. And
Which, for Hayden seeds, is the... It can just not work out sometimes, but, you know.
okay, so Myth also going to Vale Falls.
Yeah, no, you don't leave these checks behind.
Oh, no,
like,
no.
Myth was just checking some other stuff
Yes.
on the way.
Yeah, and if
There's no way Myth would have just left this.
yeah, and if Artemis ends up skipping those checks for a while, it's not going to bite them.
Yeah, Myth didn't find anything of import.
Yeah,
on
just
the few
rupees.
checks that did.
And we haven't seen any of the caster kinstones yet.
No, we haven't seen any of those. We do need all three
Yes.
of them. Yeah, this isn't enough items that we don't need to start counting what's required yet.
Yeah. Yeah, so far not finding anything in the Vale Falls area.
I mean, they've yet to get to the rupees.
Oh, yes. But all these
Like-
little one-off checks have not.
So I also don't know why Artemis is delaying them. Usually you jump down to the pier down there and go through.
Oh, there's
There's
the
a bottle.
bottle. Yes, that's
So
a nice
that's-
find.
All of Krenner. Right there. And the rupee check's not having anything, so...
Okay, and Myth about to get his bottle.
Did Artemis forget about the rupee checks, or... Okay, he...
Yeah, there were just a couple of heart pieces.
Yeah, that does
Was-
set
the
you
rest
quick
was
for
junk.
Artemis. You would want to save... Like, yes, you can continue into Vale Force here, but you would want to set up the save scum. mean, yes, you can get everything up here, but still want to save scum the climb back down if there's nothing here. And I don't think there's gonna be anything here. And you don't have enough keenstones for that to be like a factor. Like, to me it feels like the next step's gonna be Krenner, and this won't be anything.
We are getting some synchronization from the runners.
Yeah, they are very close, except for the fact that Myth has cleaned up more various
Yes.
checks that didn't have anything. Like in Caster and some digging checks. And also Myth does have the save scum. So if there's not anything up here, Myth will be way quicker to get back down
Yes.
than Artemis will.
Yeah, still not finding anything.
No, that's like a second Cloudtop stone on Myth's side, which is why we're like just ignoring it. Because the Cloudtop skin stones are hopefully not going to be needed. Yeah, the other difference is that with not having the save scum, Artemis did do the one fusion that they could at the back. Whereas Myth is just skipping all of the fusions because he is planning on save scumming away this all of this area. Which there's only this one check left, and so far there wasn't anything here, so and it's just another shield, so yeah, this is gonna be a save. Oh wait, there's one much. Right, you never do them in this order, except when you don't have cape. Okay, there's the last check. So yeah, and now Myth is suddenly way back down again, whereas Artemis will need to climb all the way back down in their force. So we have a nice demonstration of how much longer that'll take.
And Artemis actually choosing to pick up that mirror shield.
Yeah, if you're gonna climb down anyways, it's like, really doesn't matter.
And Myth going back to Minish Woods. Oh. Going to do some more digging checks.
Now, Henry's the advantage of picking up the mirror shield is that it won't show up as a green screen if you're using an auto tracker anymore. So it's just for that peace of mind.
Yes.
So yeah, Myth again, like picking up a few digging checks on the way. We'll see if he decides to go for the North Minish Woods digging K. Yeah, should. Right, you don't need to. Saving there is interesting. Like, I guess that means that Myth is planning on checking the 2 visible items in Lake, because otherwise he wouldn't set up a save scum there. Ah, we didn't know that, Jonas. So yeah, seeing that both of these items has nothing, it's just marginal value, but then, like, spend a bit of time to find out those 2 items are not something you need to rush to when you get access. which once you get access to like at least the lower the harpies there, it's also access to droplets, and you're gonna want to go over there for the first ruby path at least. But it's also a really small time investment, so. Myth is actually not going to go to Krenel, instead going back to Castor, I guess just for the digging cave. So yeah, being really thorough here. And avoiding Krenel again, yes. That is something that Myth likes to do.
There's another scroll.
That's 6 scrolls, so not quite Swiftblade the first access. Is it weird that I would almost have, like, Myth came through town from the north to the south to get here, right? Or,
Yes.
like, was it weird that I'd almost have wanted him to do a
okay.
save in town and save scum back from Castor? Like, that feels like about as good as the save scum he did
Yes.
earlier.
And he skipped that chest. He's just gonna get on his way back.
He save scummed that area earlier, I think.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, both of them in the Krenel area.
Yeah, no, these, like, Myth is just checking things on the way to slow his progress down enough to be even with Artemis.
Okay.
I don't know how he does it, but...
And finding another bottle.
Whereas Artemis just keeps skipping checks on the way to
Yes.
be on pace with it. It's kind of amazing how they're doing this. Yes, skipping lower Krenel here is just the correct play though. Like, you check Cave of Flames and the Beanstalk first and then you go there. Like, the Beanstalk is way more item density and Cave of Flames is an element. Oh yeah, I'm like, you can do lower Krenel here and hope for like the cape or something, I guess. Anything else is not going to help you on the other stuff that you're gonna do anyways. But yeah, if specifically cape is on lower Krenel, this loses a bit of time. But then they're both doing it, so...
Looks like we finally found a beam scroll.
Yeah, more importantly, that's the 7th scroll for me.
Yes. Oh yeah. Is it Waveblade that opens up?
Swiftblade the first.
Oh, Swiftblade. Okay.
Over in Caster.
Oh, is that another bottle?
That was another bottle of
Okay.
water.
It didn't look like there was anything else there that Myth would want to actually go in that area.
Well, Myth is going to grab that bottle and
Oh,
throw
he is? Okay.
when he goes into Cave of Flames. He's just checking the Beanstalk first. Like, Cave of Flames is an element.
Yes.
I think, like, if he saw Cape there, he would have probably gone into Cave of Flames first and gotten the dungeon out of the way. And otherwise it's just, yeah, you check the Beanstalk first if Cape's there. Makes Cave of Flames quite a bit faster. Yes, you do set the quick warp at Cave of Flames, for sure, and then just checking the rupees isn't that long, so you just take a glance there. Yeah, I don't know if Artemis set their quick warp at Cave of Flames. They should have, but then might not. I guess if you're planning on doing lower cranal before Cave of Flames 2, you wouldn't set your quick warp there? Not sure I like that as much. Like, if you're gonna do that, just do lower cranal first and then do the whole quick warp beanstalk thing.
Okay, what did Myth just do?
Myth took
he's
a
just...
glance at the heart piece in
Okay.
that cave and decided he didn't want it.
Okay. Is that that's the only check in there?
That is the only check in
Okay.
there. Yes, and Myth is already 10 hearts, so it's...
Yeah. Oh, there's the flippers and... Is that...
That's another Cloudtops? That's another Cloudtops.
Yes. Yes, those Caster Wildkin stones are eluding both runners.
Yeah, that's also access to droplets
Ooh.
with the flippers.
Yes.
Cape has had... Cape has recently been on the second ruby path a few times, right?
Yes. And this is a Hayden seed, so there is guaranteed trollage.
Yeah. But first, they do have another element to clear here.
Yes.
And yeah, looks like Artemis did not set the quick warp at Cave of Flames. We'll see if they decide to go for lower cranal now. Looks like that's the plan.
Oh, another bomb bag? Oh, getting that bottlenet scroll.
And that's down thrust, which is nice to have, though not as important with York not an element.
Yes.
Well,
That doesn't mean that...
it can be important with York not an element.
Yes. It's because Georg is an element doesn't mean it's not required.
Yeah. No.
We did
Down
have...
thrust totally saved me in my last race.
Yes, and isn't that the race that Hendris rolled where Forsword was on Georg?
Yes.
Yes.
And I would have left it to do Octo if I didn't find down thrust attacking when I did. So. PK, I'm pretty sure Myth didn't cheat, but please be more specific if you think he did. Roll lifts are permitted, if that's what you're talking about. Yes, roll lift is a glitch. It's also allowed in Rando. We are not running on the glitchless rule set anymore. There's a standard tournament rule set for TMCR. Like, yeah, specifically rolls and cutscene blocks are allowed while, like, the major glitches are not. And another butterfly. And it looks like it was the mid butterfly, so if I keep finding good ones.
Yeah. I think it's the flippers one is kind of the most useless one.
Yeah, it's...
Doesn't really help.
like, in order of priority, it's definitely, like, Bow Butterfly is the best, then
Yes.
Mid Butterfly, then Flippers Fly. You can roll through, like, hit enemies and things. Yeah, to not get hit. I'm not sure if it's actual, like, iframes or if it's just some things that you can't...
I mean like a damage boost?
I mean, Sean, yes, but it's way easier if you just have the bow butterfly. Artemis is running out of bombs here. Is not gonna be able to get those 2 last checks. Or, well, okay, they do have a shield to buy bombs here.
I don't.
So, 2 more checks on lower channel for Artemis here. Otherwise, it's... Like, with the flippers found, I'm considered likely that Myth is going to skip these, but if he doesn't, it's because he got punished for skipping this before. A few times.
Yeah, I don't think did.
Artemis did pick up the flippers from...
Yeah, I don't think they got the ocarina though, did they?
Wait, no, they didn't.
Oh, and
There's
there's
a
the
gas
gust
jar.
jar.
That's required! So, there's the item in lower channel.
Yes.
Let's see whether Myth decides to go there after Cave of Flames. That's an item that I could easily see Myth skip.
Same.
That is the element from Deep Water Spell, yes.
Oh, there's a. Oh, nope. It is not. It is not these.
What is it with these kinstones?
These Castorwell kinstones are elusive today.
And looks like Artemis actually picked up the green water, like the Green Hot Spring water, Mountain Dew, whatever you want to call it. For no particular reason, because it's really not necessary.
Yes.
If you have grip ring. Like, they could have just quick warped and
Yes.
gone up this wall. But probably just running a bit on autopilot there.
Yeah, and also probably not having as much familiarity. Artemis getting their second bomb bag. Picking up another bottle.
Myth having some trouble on Rock here.
Yes.
That position would have been one where I would have equipped the bow and stuff trying to go through the fire, but like, considering the fact that they do have the bow butterfly.
Getting their second vanilla element, sub 1 hour.
Myth hesitating a bit there before entering the green warp, but deciding they want to. Well, he wants to do Milari and those 2 checks banded before checking the basement. Again, just in case like Cape is here. Yeah, Cable Flames just led to a close Kinstone.
Yes.
Which is getting a bit concerning.
Yes.
Considering that Myth is at 4 of those. Oh yeah, Mid's Butterfly, but that doesn't, like, give anything in logic. Oh right, down thrust was in there, which is good. And I think Artemis.
Oh, there's the Ocarina.
Well then. I wonder if Myth is going back into Cave of Flames basement now. I could see skipping it. Yep. There's the skip.
We're gonna do some flippers checks.
Not going to go back there and into Cape. Hopefully. Like, or even if then. Like. We'll see if Myth skipped something else there, which is entirely possible.
Yes.
But yeah, following up those flippers. Also skipping the Gust Jar, which it's gonna take Myth a while to find.
Yes.
Going to check Minish Flipper's caves. Not going into Deepwood here just yet, okay. There's a 4-sword. So what do they still need? Is it just Caster Kinstones and maybe Cape?
Yeah, 3 caster
Depending on DHC Big Key. Like, depending on where the DHC Big Key is, they might not need Cape. So it's... For sure they need the Caster Kinstones. And if the DHC Big Key is behind towers, then they need, like... Then they need Cape. Well, Myth needs his Gust Jar, yes, but I'm just for items that we know. Like, Myth needs the Gust Jar, Artemis needs the 4-sword. Obviously. But from what we have yet to see, it's just Kinstones.
Yes.
And it's all of the Caster Kinstones.
So do you think there's going to be any Kinstones in the area where Myth is right now? Nope.
I don't know. Feels too easy.
Yeah, true. Nope. Just rupees.
It feels like there's gonna be a Cloud of Kinstone in Deepwood, and then the Caster Kinstone spread out among, like, palace and droplets.
Yes.
And who knows where the Cape is? Waveblade feels too easy for Cape at this point.
Yes. It is a Hayden
Like-
seed.
Yeah, it could easily be like Caster Kinstones in Droplets, Ice Plane, Second Rupee Path, Griegel 2, and the Cape in Fortress, or something horrible like that.
Or Yulari.
Well, that's not horrible. That's just fun.
Well, it depends on your perspective.
How many books are there on? Like one? Yeah, depends on where the books are.
Yes. Because the books could also be somewhere horrible.
Of course. But then it would be also horrible because the books are, not because it's inherently horrible.
Yes. It looks like Myth has all his bottles now, so we've reached bottle percent.
Oh, has Myth already? Yeah, Myth has
Of
already done this.
course. Having
And
a little
just-
Peepo Clown moment.
Okay. I want to see a Temper of Droplets dip soon-ish.
Yes.
Like, especially, like, Artemis is going to go to Deepwood after the Cave of Flames. And that's the best play for them. But for Myth, like, assuming you don't want to go back to Lower Crenel, Temper of Droplets is starting to look appealing.
It looks, yeah, and that looks like Artemis picked up another Cloudtop's Kinstone. I think they're up to 3?
Yes, I believe so. I guess Myth is hoping for K before dipping droplets, but
Yes.
like, if you don't need to do Octo, going to the second groupie path without Cape isn't that bad. And just leaving it there and like not doing the left. And obviously if it's then something on the like ice plane or it's bad, but I guess chickens is a thing.
Yes. 1 hour
Tend
chickens.
to ignore this check, so... But then... It's not too unlikely to have Kinston at this point, I
Yes.
don't know.
Although it could just as easily be a bloopy.
Oh, it could easily be nothing. It's usually nothing. but-
Yes.
So if you're gonna do this, like, this is the time. I don't know. Doesn't mean I would do it, but if you are going to.
It was just a big green rupee, so nothing required. Oh, and
Yeah, and
get-
Myth did grab that water on the way to set up a fountain play.
yeah, it looks like he's... Oh no, he doesn't have the power bracelets, can't do...
No,
quite-
there's no dog left play in the way, but
Can you only push those, that furniture as a minish?
yes, you can't get next to them
Oh,
as regular size Link, since there's too small of a gap.
And Artemis getting their second element about 10 minutes after Myth did?
Yeah, but then again, like, keep in mind Artemis is a Gust Giant.
Yes. And Myth has the
And it's a Gust Giant
Ocarina.
lower Crenel against Myth.
Yes.
So,
Oh, is...
that was a caster.
Oh,
finally.
finally.
And looks like Artemis is going to do the basement of Cave of Flames, which are checks that Myth skipped.
Yes.
So
We'll see if those lead to anything.
yeah, like if this is something that's again an advantage for Artemis, I'd say the placement of that caster Kinstone and Fountain is a bit of an advantage for Myth because Artemis hasn't touched Minish checks from town, and looks like Myth is in fact going for lower Krendel. I'm surprised. I would have expected him to go to droplets first. But maybe got punished too often by this.
Yes.
So is making the play here. So that just puts like now it's if Artemis doesn't find anything here, Myth will be ahead. Like the force is on the way, that's not a big issue, but just the various checks and having found that caster Kinstone. Yeah, I'm very much surprised, but it appears that Myth is actually learning.
Myth learning?
Not like leaving these checks until the end of the game anymore. Which, given that his Gustra is here, is totally the right play.
Yes.
And Myth is also showing off when not to roll lift. Okay, looks like Big Chest is going to be the map at Cave of Flames, so nothing in the basement that Myth skipped. And with the Gustra that he's about to find, it's just... Yeah, so I... oh, right. He skipped the fusion at the hot spring water. So yeah, I'd expect Myth to just go grab the element of Green Shoe ASAP. And then it's a hunt for those caster Kinstones.
Two more that we don't know about.
Yeah, and it's entirely possible that they won't find or need Cape the Seed.
As much as it appears that Myth really wants it.
I mean, you would...
Oh.
Wait, what?
Oh, and Artemis just picked up their Ocarina.
Now you're going to Lake? Myth? You do realize that Green Shoe is an element, right? Okay, this play is just confusing me from there. Like, I honestly don't know if he's going to dip into Temple of Droplets here or not.
Maybe he's trying to metagame because it is a Hayden seed.
Maybe? But just get the element!
Yes. Expecting that all the
like,
remaining caster wild kinstones.
sure, when you have, like, routing decisions that aren't this clear, you can try to, like, read into the seed more, but you have an element that you can get. I don't know, maybe I'm just not big brain enough to understand Myth's play here, but this feels very weird to me. Doing the sequence break that's not actually a sequence break here because, well, they have boots. Like, maybe Myth is just not feeling Deepwood and not thinking it has anything besides the element, but... Or maybe he's thinking, like, leaving that Gusture for a bit would have put him behind, so if it's in Deepwood, he's in a worse spot than if it's not, so he's playing for that second scenario? I don't know. But yeah, like, okay, you say that we're not British enough to understand. This does feel more like a play that Nesman would make than one that Myth would make. So now, is Myth going to dip into droplets here? Looks like that's a yes. I don't know about this timing. Like, before he found the Gust Jar, I totally would have agreed with dipping into droplets. That would have been just a good play from his perspective. But now you got access to an element in Deepwood, and you're just 2 items from go. Well, 2 items from half go. Like, it's a bit less than half the time where that would be go mode, and the other time you need to find Cape. But you still want to go open the HC and find out if you need Cape, if you find all the kinstones. It's a bit weird because I don't know how much of Fortress you would do in that scenario. Yeah, it's like, do you just pretend it's go mode until you've proven otherwise? Or do you keep clearing checks until you find K?
Oh, finding another wallet and bomb bag.
So yeah, nothing important here. Looks like Myth will keep going.
Yeah, he did find another small key.
Towards Underwater Pot at least. If not, taking the lily pad. I don't think he's gonna take the lily pad here. But maybe? Okay, he's gonna take the lily pad here. I'm gonna have some questions about these decisions afterwards. I don't know, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, like this feels like the. What in the what? I mean, yes, like he's gonna go do these checks, go get the blue orb, and you have the lantern.
Oh, and
That was another caster stone.
oh, nice.
So Underwater Pod was the play. We still don't know if the rest of this is like if you needed to take the lily pad, but at least checking Underwater Pod was a required play.
Yes. And Artemis getting their 4 sword.
Yeah, I agree, Luna. The second ruby path is just better than, like... I would have... Like, if he just went for the underwater pot and then did the other side, yeah, I think that would have been fine. And it would have been great because there was the Kinstone there, but, like... I don't know about taking the lily pad here. The extra Cloudtop Skinstone, I don't know.
I don't remember either.
The Kinstones were in Temple of Droplets, Underwater Pot, and Fountain, yes. Oh, right, the Cloudtop Skinstone was in Caster. That sounds right. Okay, is it not faster to just reset the lily pad again here? And swim, like, go swim to the ice plane, or just...
Maybe Myth is just trying to hundo the seed.
Yeah, that's what it does look like. And... Meanwhile, Artemis going over to Deepwood. Going for the element. It's going to need to type into droplets for that Kinstone, but then... Yeah, this is looking like a full clear, but why in this order? Like, you're not going to... Okay, good. Didn't activate the lever, so he's not planning on doing Octo. Oh. Which is good. So, like, you're not doing Octo, so why do it in this order instead of doing the second path first? Like, I guess Smith could be setting up for the double cutscene, which is also a thing. Like, it's nice during the race to have that really long cutscene to, like, take a drink, think about your route, if you're going to do Octo. But... Unless Myth confused his elements once again, he shouldn't be going for Octo. I can see doing, like, these checks up to the second ruby path, though, as mentioned earlier, I would have done this side first, if you were going to. I mean, you would always set the blue up there just in case, Sean. Like, doing all that and then not setting the blue warp is just...
Oh, there's our last butterfly.
It's always possible that Octo ends up being required. But yes, like, the right side has way more items. We've seen Cape there multiple times, like... We want to do that side first. And... I'm surprised that Myth, like, did the other side first, and, like, he found the Kinstone. Could have dipped out at that point even, done, like, Deepwood. And if he found the last Kinstone there, he would have been in sometimes go mode. I mean, PK, it's easy to just take damage here, and if you don't have to worry about your health because you got hearts earlier, it's one less thing to worry about. Also that, yes. But, like, before Vati, there are going to be other spots to refill. So let's see whether the second Ruby path has this time round.
Oh, just some health.
Nope. Myth keeps going. Okay, he totally misremembered his elements. Like, this is not a gamble that Myth would take. This is misremembering his elements.
This is myth derping, you mean?
This is Myth doing a myth.
Yes.
How do you keep doing that, Myth?
You have to tell me it's
Yeah,
to stop.
I know he has it marked correctly on his tracker, but that doesn't mean he's looking at that.
Yes.
You don't risk doing Octo when you have all of Deepwood available. There's no way. Especially not like in Myth's situation, like he is the player with the better execution
Yes.
this seat. He doesn't need to take these crazy gambles. He just needs to play a solid game. No, like clearly not.
Yes,
That's
yes.
the issue.
It's being disproved today.
Yes, he's doing a very solid 100%. I don't know if I should be hoping that Octo is required or like. Oh. This is really weird. Arguably, Myth still has a lead for those two Castacan stones. But like, if Artemis finds the third Castacan stone, wherever that is, and the one in Fountain, and then goes into droplets, and like does the underwater pot quickly, or even if it's like Cape here in Deepwood or something like that.
But then this
Yes. And now it's Blue Chew before Octo. Okay. That's making me more. That's making it more likely to me that Myth is just not like Myth is just gambling instead of thinking it's an element, because otherwise he would do Octo first. But he's doing Blue Chew first. So now I'm not sure anymore. What are you doing, Myth? No, Blue Chew is still a bit faster than Octo, I think. But it's also 2 items on Octo versus 1 on Blue Chew. So, like, Octo takes a bit longer, but I guess you set up the saves. Like, he'll not quick warp from Blue Chew, you'll safe warp and set up like slightly more optimal move routing if you are going to do both, I think. It's also easily possible there's just like it's the any percent route, I think. Like you get the second part lever and then you go to Blue Chew to get the lantern and then do Octo. Obviously Myth already has the lantern, so Myth hasn't done the first level yet, has he? So he can't do the safe warp from here. You need to quick warp and then save her for the second level. So I don't know.
Yeah, he has us totally discombobulated today. Okay, and
I know this isn't 100%. They just need to beat Rati.
And Blue Chew had nothing.
But Myth is just doing everything anyways? Maybe? I don't know.
Yes.
Why is Myth here? This makes no sense.
And
Meanwhile, Artemis picking up that element of
the third element. Well, Myth is delaying getting his third element.
Well, this isn't an yeah, like Myth is going to be this third boss, which isn't an element shortly.
Yes. Yeah, apparently Myth is trying out a new category, 100% randomizer.
I mean, he has been experimenting with that for a while.
Yes. Just not usually in a race setting.
Yeah. Luna,
Yes.
that's plausible, and that's kind of the thing. He probably can 100% this
Yes.
seed before Artemis hits go mode. Or like before Artemis finishes. Maybe not before go mode, but like... It's not unreasonable from his perspective to just make that his strategy.
Yes.
Also showing off, Octomanip. So, Myth did a save warp there to set the RNG to a known state and is doing some precise movement there to set up the RNG.
Oh, and Artemis just found the Karlov medal in the big chest in
Yes.
Deepwood Shrine.
There wasn't anything else in Deepwood, was there?
No. Other than the element, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Mhm.
The element,
But
if Karlov Metal has something that's...
it could potentially have one of the kinstones that we're looking for.
Yeah, like a Karlov Metal has a Kinstone, and then Artemis is in town and does stuff there and finds the one in Fountain, and then goes into Droplets and does Underwater Pot soon.
Yes.
They could be in... We don't know if it's actually go mode soon. Yeah, that's... There must be some, like, common name for it from other runners, right?
Yes.
Like, this kind of thing happens more often in A Link to the Past runner with, like, no cane or no boots before GT, right?
Yes.
Do they have a name for this?
Full clearing?
No, like when you maybe have hit go mode, but
Oh, no.
aren't actually 100% sure because it could be that you need an item for GT depending on where the pick
Well, I
is.
guess that you just call that derping.
It's not derping though, it's just like...
Well, if you don't realize you're in go mode, it is derping.
No, it's not about not realizing you're in
Okay.
go mode. It's you don't
Oh, you
know
mean
if
no
you're in
mode?
go mode until you know where the GT
Well, it's
pick
no
is.
mode
or in our
because-
case, the DHT pick is.
Yeah, because the comms know, but the runners don't.
No, that's also not what I'm talking about. but,
Okay.
like, if they find the last Kinstone, they will have access to all elements, and
Yes.
if the big key is in one of the first 4 checks in DHC, they'll have access to Vati. If not, they need the cape. So...
Oh, that's okay. We will call that that's what's more commonly known as the ice rod hunt. It's when you need that. It's when you need an item and it's eluding you.
No, that's also a different...
Okay.
Like, it's not an ice rod, like that's a force-out hunt, but no, that's
Yes.
not what this is. Yeah, like in an ice rod hunt, you know you need the ice rod.
Yes.
But if it's like Pendant, TR, and Maya, and you don't have the cane, but you can do all the other crystals. It's probably Go mode, except if the big key is on the right side in GT. Right? In our case, if the big key is early in DHC, they don't need Cape. The Kinstone's Go mode.
Yes.
But they don't know that
Yes.
until they get to DHC. Anyways, doesn't seem like there's a common name for that at least.
No.
Otherwise, someone would have thought of it by now. Yeah, form mode is a good name. But it's... Well, Myth made his way over to Deepwood now, so...
An actual dungeon?
Actually, an element dungeon.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Actually, something that you have to do.
Yes, well, I should have said a required dungeon.
Yes. Unlike that whole octobusiness.
Yes.
Call of Metal, which I don't think Artemis turned in yet.
No.
So we don't know.
Yeah, we haven't seen Figurine House, and I believe that they did peek the item and it was nothing.
Yeah, Myth would have picked it at least, and I think they both did. But still 3 chests in there that you couldn't peek.
Yes. Oh, and yeah. Yeah, Artemis having some issues with the ice physics.
Yeah, you just, like, if you're having that much, you should just take it slow.
Yeah, especially. Yeah, this is definitely an area where having the cape helps a lot.
Oh yeah. No, Cape makes those rooms a lot easier.
Yes. And just finding
But you might not always have it, so it's good to know them without Cape anyways.
yes. And just finding a rupee.
Myth? You can't do that. You should know that you can't do that. That's not how you do that. Myth may be a slight bit tilted, I don't know. Why is Artemis in courtyard? There's nothing there, right? Yeah, they full clear courtyard earlier.
Yes.
Okay, just... where do they need to go? Like...
Oh, there's another book.
Oh right, there was also a book in Deepwood. Forgot about that earlier, but yes, there's a book in here. And looks like Myth is just leaving the Meta Pillar B for now. I guess it could be a small key if you're missing some. Decided not to do basement before Green Shoe. Well, Nesbin, I did propose like having a Caster Kinstone up in Wind Tribe and Cape and Fortress earlier. like in the back of Fortress, so you don't get it if you don't full clear the place. I am not sure if I would want it to be required at that point or not. Apparently Artemis found the third book somewhere.
Yes.
So they're about to check Hilari. It doesn't have to be a small key lunar stick. I think that like the small key. I don't know why Myth is only on one small key. Maybe it does have to be one, but there should be one here on green. Like if it has to be, then there would also be one here on green shoe.
And nope.
Nope,
Mr.
Hilari's not it.
Nope.
Yeah, small key on either Meta Pillar or green shoe sounds more likely.
Yes.
And I don't remember which it was. But then I like. Don't think Myth has unlocked the door to Motosas yet, so it should be on 3 small keys. Which is why I'm slightly confused. Or did he leave behind? There was someone at the blue board, right? Did he leave that?
Yeah, I believe. Oh, there was. Okay, there was a small.
Okay, if he hasn't picked that one up yet, then
Okay.
he knows that Meta Pillar is not one. Yeah, okay, he hadn't picked that one up yet. So
Oh,
now
and,
he knows that Meta Pillar is not a small key.
and nothing in Karlov House. It was just rupees.
So what do we have left for either Kinstone really, or the Cape? I guess hiking. I don't know if Artemis just did mode. They were in the area.
I'm not sure.
There's Whipblade the first as well. Yes. And I don't know if anyone has checked South where it falls since getting the flippers. But yeah, not a whole lot of checks left, and it pretty much has to be like one of Cape or one Kinstone. Power braces do unlock one more check, but then that check, like.
And artists making their way into Temple of Droplets.
So, which do you think is it going to be? Is it going to be the Caster Kinstone to put them in maybe go mode? Is it going to be the Cloud of Kinstone to make them do all of those without Cape? Or is it going to be the Cape to open up, like, Cape 25 and the various other checks?
Probably the Cape.
Thinking Cape, okay?
Yes.
I'm feeling the Cloud of Kinstone.
Okay.
The seed feels evil.
Oh, what would be worse, the Cape or the Cloud Top's Kinstone?
Well, the Cloud of Kinstone means that you need to do all the fusions in Cloud Ops without a Cape, probably. The Cape is just, like...
Luxury
Also,
item.
not getting the Cape at all means it's just going to be really scary going into DHC and hoping that you can actually get the big key. So I kind of want that. Yeah, the Cloud of Kinstone just feels way worse than the Cape at this point. Looks like Artemis is also in droplets. I would not expect him to do Octo here, but then I didn't expect Myth to do Octo either.
Nope. Oh,
Ah,
okay,
that's
there's
where
the
the third
book.
book was.
Yep,
It was in the mode. We already know Yellari is not anything, but
No.
Myth is still going to check that. You think Myth is going to do hiking first, or go back into Cave of Flames for the basement first?
Probably hiking. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. Like, there's more checks in Caster, and it's less, like, it's not something that he already skipped. Blue Shoe doesn't have anything, Myth already did it. I mean, that is kind of how this render works, yes. Like, from the 1 hour to 1 hour 40 is going to be in deciding period of the run, like. But they are still looking for what they would hope is their cast against Stone or Cape. And if it's a Cloud on Skin Stone, they'll feel really bad about it.
Yes.
Yeah, we are not sure if Myth meant to do non-element Octo, or if he did a Myth and didn't realize it wasn't an element. It was really weird timing to go into droplets when he did. It was also really weird timing to do Blue Chew when you just hit the second lever, but before doing Octo. Like, some of that didn't make sense to me, but...
And Lunastick was right. Instead of going to
Yeah,
hiking.
he is going to do this first, which...
Yes.
I guess. Got burned by Cave of Flames before. But... you have more stuff to do in Caster, and... it's not something that you always skipped. I don't know. I guess skipping it didn't cost any time, really.
That's a fair point, Nesman.
Yeah... Myth's routing is usually a bit more coherent than yours, Nesman. The thing is, he's also... it usually doesn't work out as well for him when he does stuff like this. Like, listen, if that was you doing that play, I wouldn't have been nearly as confused, and Octo would have had something.
Yes.
But yeah, after this, it's pretty much down to caster for Myth. Artemis will still have a few more. Like, mostly town checks.
Yes. They did skip some checks.
One of which is, of course, the caster Kinstone and Fountain, so... and will be required. Yeah, like hiking and Scarblade and the check beside him and... like everything flippers locked in caster. Basically. Oh right, Swift with the first also left.
Yeah, Artemis doesn't have their
Artemis is also going for Octo. I don't know why.
yeah, they don't have their Castor Wild's Kinstone from the underwater pot.
No, they haven't gotten the left
lily
side.
pad, okay.
But which would like I agree with, except they're now doing Octo, which I really don't agree with in this situation. This should be last location almost every time. No, if you get through the red warp, you've done all of the time investment that like makes Octo bad.
And we got another scroll.
Well, not it matters with Swift with the first already done and not having anything.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe they both forgot elements, but I don't think so. At least in Artemis' case, I really don't think so. I mean, if you're planning on doing Octo, then yes, it makes sense to go to the red warp. I'm saying you shouldn't be planning on doing Octo here. So you wouldn't do all of this to get to the red warp. If you're already at the red warp, you might as well get the lever, because it's really not that much more. Yeah, no, this is the last location for Myth. So, it's gonna be really interesting to see what is here.
Oh boy, last location, let's go! What's here in hiking? What did I miss for an hour?
Myth did short hiking before flippers.
And we did
Luna.
have Myth just unmute.
Yes, Myth just unmuted at, the last location.
Yes. Oh boy!
Okay,
It's a cape.
at least it wasn't a cloud of skin stone.
Time to go to Palace.
No, that doesn't open Palace. The cloud of skinstone would have opened Palace.
Okay, that's true, but
This opens like Cave 25.
okay.
It's the Bell and Cave 25.
Oh, Belle had nothing.
And Drown first. So it's 2 checks in town and Cave 25.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Yeah.
I remembered and I forgot because the cape was very elusive. Nope.
Yeah, this is a Hayden seed, so
Yes.
it's not entirely unexpected that it's terrible. Artemis left droplets without getting the Kinstone out of the underwater pod. Oh right, there was a visible kinstone here. And it's cloud tops.
Oh boy.
Bell, why do you curse them?
What?
Okay, can do that.
Yes, we can make
Arrow.
sure that.
We can make sure of that.
We only have a Hayden seed today because Myth specifically requested it. So Myth
Which, from Myth's perspective, yeah, of course he wants a terrible seed. That means that his routing mistakes won't matter because it's gonna be a last location for both anyways.
It looks like we found our last wallet.
Like, this kind of seed is just great for Myth here.
Yes. And the beanstalk will have...
I mean, the last kinstone's gonna be
nothing.
in Palace, right?
Yes. Yeah, they got the cape, they got the last Cloud Taps kinstone. Just go to Palace.
Yeah, bracelets are also still missing.
Yes.
But then... Okay, they could be deep in Palace with, like, the kinstone on pot push, but then they are not gonna be required. Or they could be deep in Palace with the kinstone on Dr. Left, which would be just horrible.
Yes. There are no good scenarios left.
I mean, they are good. Like,
Better,
if
but
the
not good.
braces are in the first chest in Palace, it's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. Like, or if they're just not required and aren't Fortress or whatever. Well, Beryl, if that happens, they won't do Bjork. Or at least Myth won't. Because once you hit the switch to see the item on pot push, you can get the item on pot push without bracelets. Like, at that point, bracelets aren't required. Like, logically, yes, but not actually. You mean, is Myth going to do pot push when he's already seen the go do Georg for braces when he's already seen the kinstone pot push? No, that won't happen.
No.
Artemis, I don't know if they know about that strat, but Myth for sure knows to do that. So, is Artemis going to find all Cloudop's kinstone before their first caster kinstone?
It's a possibility.
Because if they do hiking here, that's not unlikely.
Nothing in Wind Tribe.
Yeah, like Kinstone on Doctor Left, Small Key on Pod Push, and Power Bracelets on the like Bomb Maze chest. Before the last door, before Georg. That sounds like a fun scene. Well, fun for us, not so much for the runners. No. Because you will do Georg if it's that, and it isn't required.
Yep.
How deep into Palace is he going to need to go?
It's a Hayden seed. He's probably going to have to go pretty deep.
How does Hayden keep doing this? At least the boss key is nice. Yeah, it's also going to be Power Bracelets, Steve and Palace at this point. Like, I guess they could be here, but... Nope.
Yeah, Myth's looking a little frustrated.
So, if anything is on Pod Push, that's, like, gonna need them to climb twice. Which is already horrible. And when I say anything, that kind of includes a small key, because in this situation, you do want to just open the big chest. Like, there's nowhere outside of Palace left that could have power bracelets, so you know you're not making it much worse by doing that.
And Artemis picking up their cape?
Yeah. Which should be a signal to go over. Like, I don't know if Artemis remembers that Kinstone on the post-Cape Cave Heartbeats. Yes. I certainly didn't.
Yeah, and they still need to go and get that Kinstone from the underwater pot.
Yeah, they need to get the Kinstone from Fountain and the underwater pot and Palace.
Yes.
Like, at this point, there isn't much of a chance for Artemis to get back into this. Like, Myth would need to majorly screw up to give them a chance. There's the Kinstone! So, that's all the keys Myth needs. He didn't even need that one. Like, you just need one more key? Is that right?
I am not the right person to talk to about key logic.
There's 2 at the end and there's 2 here, so you needed 2, so that's... And they already used 1. I'm pretty sure Myth didn't need that smart key that you picked up from... No, Myth already has the boss key.
Yes.
Boss key was on Viz ropes. So, for it being deep in Palace, that's probably the nicest spot it could be. Which is still it's still deep in Palace, so terrible. Wasn't... It wasn't anything on pot push. Pot bases are still required, are still not required. Are still like locked past going past it, which is always fun, but didn't need to climb twice at least. And there's Myth's Go mode, so just going to need to go through Fortress of Go mode for that last element.
Yes.
Making sure it's an element. Bit late on that. If it wasn't Palace instead, you kind of needed to check that earlier. Well, Deepwood was required for an element, but they've already done it. So the Juggernaut doesn't really mean anything at this point. Yeah, don't need to push that boulder if you're just here for the element and are in Go mode. So Artemis just picked up their final Cloud of Skinstone, which they did manage to get all of those before the first caster came stone.
Yes.
They really should be clearing up those checks before going into Palace. Like, in this situation, in Artemis place, I would go into Wind Tribe. Like, I would do all the fusions go into Wind Tribe. I would then leave before doing Palace to do, like, the other checks. Because there's not that many left. It's just Town and, like, Underwater Pot and Droplets. Yes. I don't know what else there. I wouldn't do Octo, but, like, pretty much everything else. And from in Artemis position specifically, when they already have the second lever, yes, I would do Octo. So Myth going for getting the red warp first here. See if this is the big key. Nope, just a small key. Seeing like the last bomb back over on the rupee spots, but now we're going to check the two visible spots over here, a rupee and another rupee, and then go over to the left, starting with wrist ropes, then taking the left path up. And there it is. So big key on the rupees and fortress.
As well as
Myth
light
going
arrows.
to go straight for Mizar now.
So I guess the rule that there always is a bow and fortress is true.
Yes, there is always a bow and fortress. We've seen that just now. With light arrows also there. That is a bowlocked bow, though. I mean,
Yes.
not that it wouldn't have been anywhere in the other parts of fortress given. Oh, no. I guess you didn't need a bow before this, but... Yeah. Was there? No, there was a bow locked Cloud of Skinstone, wasn't there?
Yes.
So, would have been a bow locked bow wherever it was in Fortress at this point, but that's what's always bow locked.
Okay, just let me know when you want to start the bet.
Yeah, I guess we can start introducing the bet. So, once Myths gets done with this boss here to get the last element, he will have access to the HCE. In the HCE, you need to find the big key to get to Vati. The big key can be in one of the 9 checks, in any one of the 9 checks in the HCE, so we'll have a bet for how many checks it's going to take Myth to find it. No, Beryl, I'm not talking about Artemis, I'm talking about Myth. So yeah, I guess we could open that bet now.
Okay. There we go.
So yeah, this is long cutscene on Myth's side. Unfortunately, not something we can get rid of.
Just close the bet now.
Once he gets to the
Okay.
first check, I guess. You did close the bed, right?
Just closed it.
Did I skip the king, or did I pay attention for such a long time that you did that while I wasn't looking?
I wasn't paying attention either, but you know, that's the common thing with
I blame Trez.
Yeah, blame
You know what he did.
Trez. Yeah, plus in trying to manage the restream and other stuff too. I will be right back.
Right. Okay, yeah, so Myth decided to skip clone in the hopes that it's a really, really good DHC. Don't know why they still have hope for this seed. Like, the seed has shown that it would be horrible. So it's not gonna end on a nice DHC. So yeah, just a small key on the post-throne chest, so I imagine Myth will go for the clones and the king after getting the red warp.
Okay, what number are we up to now?
He's done 2 checks
Okay.
so far. So Myth about to reach the red warp. A few more rooms to go through. And then... not sure what order between king and clones is going to go for. Did Myth set the quick warp at the entrance? Or is it still at the sanctuary exit? Because if it's the latter, it's going to do the king first, and it's a really interesting route. Okay, no. I wonder if that would be a thing to do if you're planning to skip king.
Oh.
Because you could then quick warp back there and do the king, and I guess it doesn't matter because like either you're doing it that way around
Yes.
again or the other way. But
Well, Myth hasn't been exactly doing things that we expected him to do today, so
yeah, there were a few.
it's been
things
kind of
in
an
there.
unmyth type of day. I'm gonna have to ask him about that.
Yeah, like with this, I imagine Myth has spent time thinking about like how to route the HC with this new change and whether skipping king would be worth it and how long you're gonna skip it for. Like apparently longer than this. Okay.
Yes.
Has he found all keys so far? That was check number 3 and the third small key, right?
Yes, he still has 2 small keys.
Yes, but it's because the small keys can't be on the big chest. That's why it's kind of relevant. Whereas like this is going to turn into a very early big chest if he keeps finding keys. So first of the towers, but for once this isn't check 5 but check 4. And it's the random item. A quiver in this case.
Yes.
Check number 5, Southeast Tower, is another small... just one more small key to go. Looks like Northwest is next. I mean, it's likely, like, it's not unlikely to be vanilla, but vanilla is also not going to be number 9. Probably. Maybe it will be. If he keeps finding other items.
Like a compass.
Yeah, so now it's a 50-50 for vanilla? Probably. May still be more likely to be vanilla than not, I don't know. Like, at the prior to any knowledge, it's more likely to be vanilla than any other single check. At this point, I'm not sure if that's how much that is. But one of these checks is gonna be smoky, that's not on the big chest, so... Either this or the king is a small key, and the other is either the map or the boss key. And that's a small key. So it could be vanilla, or it could have been on the
Could have been on the king. Nice. So which is he going to check?
He's going to check. Vanilla is way faster than the king at this point. But if it's not here, Myth is going to feel bad.
Yes.
Because that would have been a really quick DHC. And he made it the slowest. It was vanilla though.
So that was 8?
That was 8.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, that's my usual bet.
Okay. There we go. Totally not rigged.
No, like I said, that's my usual bet.
Yes.
The only thing rigged about it is how Myth routed DHC.
Yes. Well, Myth's routing today has had some questionable moments.
I mean, this one worked out, so I don't know if we can... It's just getting a bit scary towards
Yes.
the Like, that kind of routing wouldn't have happened if they didn't find Cape. But unfortunately, that cast against them had to be in feathers. Nice first two phases on Vati 1
Yes.
there. Well, especially the second one. First one I think he got away for a bit. And now getting some teleports. Okay. Whoa! Well, I was gonna say that was a nice third phase and then he missed the 3 cycle, so not as nice. We'll just hit away. Yep, just one hit.
Yes.
Couple attempts at a down thrust there. Third try gets it.
Yep, he didn't get a chance to use it on George.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be too sad about that.
No. No one likes an all dungeon seed. Oh, that's true, but
Yeah, there's some enjoyment in all dungeon seeds. For people that aren't running them.
yeah, runner tournament's always a thing.
Yes. Getting done with Vati 2 there, just Vati 3 to go.
Hey Hayden, you seeing the end of the masterpiece you rolled? And it looks like, in the meantime, it looks like Artemis found their first.
Yeah,
Mr.
they
Wales
found their
could-
first caster Kinstone in the place where Myth got their last.
Yes.
Like, they still need to go back to Temple of Droplets for the underwater pot
Yes.
to get that one, and to the fountain. I don't know if they're going to at this point. Like,
Yeah.
like from their perspective, doing York here is absolutely the right play. Like, you hope it's
You hope
all
it's
of them
there.
up here and you didn't miss it, but they did miss 2 of them.
Yes.
So Myth getting phase 2 of 33's second part done. Just one more round of tennis to go. Far left, but
Yeah,
oh nope.
this-
Yeah, a bit far left.
Was he too far to the right?
No, he was too far
Oh,
left.
to left. Oh,
Okay, that
There we
one
go.
was. And
GG's.
GG's. Myth finishing with a time of just under 2:30.
yes.
And we should be able to get both of them in here
Yes.
for an interview.
1 sec.
Don't know if it's already shown up on stream, but it's forfeit shot yet.
GG's.
GG's.
Hi.
Huh.
Yes. This was a
So,
Hayden
how'd you
seed.
enjoy that seed?
Yeah,
It was fine.
it was interesting.
I'm just not
Uh,
mad at myself about that cape. I planned on going there a long time ago.
Yeah, I mean, didn't matter too much at that.
Yeah.
Like, we were very confused about why you went into droplets when you did.
Yeah, because when I had the ocarina, I was like, okay, I'm going to follow these flippers things up. And I just had the thought in my head. It's like, oh, it's a hidden seed. I'm gonna do
But-
it.
But you
Follow the flippers
requested.
into Deepwood, which is an element.
Yes.
Just
No,
for the
no,
Gastra.
I had a feeling Deepwood was nothing, and it was. I should have just listened to my gut on that and not gone there when I did.
But you would have gone there before Palace, anyways.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, no, if I had the cape a lot earlier, maybe I would have just decided. Well, okay, my routing changed a lot this seed because at the beginning I was like, okay, I'm going to be super thorough. I'm going to full clear everywhere before moving on. I'm not going to leave any chest unturned before leaving. And then as soon as I hit the
Which
ocarina,
was working for you. Like,
yeah, it was working really well. Like had a really good early game because of that. But yeah, when I got the ocarina, that kind of just went out the window, and I was like, let's dive places. God, ocarina brings out the worst in me.
So, one thing that I'm curious about, if instead of that cape, that had been the last caster Kinstone, how much of Windrunes and Falls would you have cleared?
Like all of it. Yeah,
But
like
you would have
I
just
would
continued to
actually-
full clear and
would
not
I?
hoped that it's a big key in the first 4 chests?
No, actually, I would. I would go for the meme, and I would think that cape was not required, and then just
Alright, yeah, like
Yeah.
that's what I would have expected in that spot, but
yeah. No, I
unfortunately
would.
the seed didn't go there.
I would have checked the king that time, but like,
Yes, no, you would have checked the king.
yeah, no. Like, I tell you, like, just skip the king. It's the longest check, and it's free time save.
Yeah. Don't know.
I totally wasn't
not
checking
convinced.
myself going up to the vanilla boss key chest. I'm like, please be here.
Yeah. I'm
I was
not
ready
convinced
to
about
turn my
that.
mic on and just shout "fuck."
Yeah, we heard you unmute. I'm surprised you didn't unmute an additional time or two.
Yeah, well, it's just a cape.
Yeah. Like, for being in the back of Palace, that Caster Kingston kind of was in the nicest spot.
That was fun.
Yes.
I like seeing that.
Yeah. You didn't need the smoky out of the white gap chest. I don't know why
Yeah,
you
no, I
opened
was
that.
just thinking about it. And it's like, oh wait, no, yeah, because
Because there's 2 after the
yeah,
red
the
bob,
the
and
locked
there's
door
2
was
off
after
to the side.
that chest, not before. Yeah. Hey, I was gonna go back to Lower Krenel after I'd done Cave of Flames. It's just like after, like
you just
can-
found the ocarina.
Yeah,
and
it's
then we
just-
were really scared that you
the
were going
way
to
I
leave
was
that Gastra
routing
for
it.
ages.
Yeah, I
because of
wasn't.
that.
I was just going to like. It's just the way I route Krenel is I didn't have the ocarina at the time. I was routing to do everything in one fell swoop all the way through. So like I was going to get things on the way down as well.
Well, yeah, if there was
But
an
then the
ocarina, I would have
ocarina,
expected
like-
you to stay. It's just like,
Yeah.
with the ocarina and you leaving, it was really unclear when you were going to find that Gastra.
Yeah, like it was in the back of my mind constantly. It's like, don't leave Lower Krenel, and I'm like, yeah, I will go there.
Okay.
It's just
Yeah. Like, I would have expected you to go into droplets before then, not right after finding the Gastra.
yeah, but I had Lilypad basement open, and then that's where one of the Krenel the Krenelkin the Casterkin stones.
Yes, but then you did Octo.
Yes.
Why?
Hmm.
I need to practice. I failed it again. That's 3 times in a row.
You know, you don't
You're not
need
supposed
to
to practice during a
for
race.
Octo if it's not an element. It's not required. Just don't do it. That doesn't
Yeah,
matter if
but
you can
again,
do
Hayden Seed could have been required.
it. Could have been, but wasn't.
Yes.
Well, I found out it
Like,
wasn't.
make that your last location instead of hiking.
Yeah, no, I just forgot about hiking, to be honest. I after I got the flippers, I'm like, I want to go back to hiking, and then just forgot about it after I got Ocarina. Like, getting the Ocarina should have just told me to rush hiking, and I did, like, the Flippers Cave in Minish Woods and got the full sword there.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
that was a nice play, but
Yeah, like, that makes sense. And then, yeah, after that, I should have just gone straight to Caster. And then, yeah, because I also had Great Uncle Herbert as well.
yeah. Yeah, like, even before, even after, Octo and Deepwood, and before doing Cable Flames Basement, those were 3 checks that you had already kind of left behind, but then there were 5 in Castor.
Yeah, I didn't like how I routed Castor, because it was... When I went there, I kind of did a bit too much the first time, and then I went back a second time just for the myths checks, and then immediately got the flippers after. It was all just all over the place, really.
I guess. Is Hayden banned?
Nah.
I don't have enough seeds to compare.
No,
Well,
that
did you
wasn't
like
done by
the
me.
seed or not?
Yeah, that's pretty much the basis for a ban.
I mean,
It's fine to be subjective with that.
the way I routed it, seeing the first caster stone in Palace was annoying. But
you just... So, do you know where the other 2 were?
I found out, and I'm a little upset that I didn't do Fountain. Yeah, and droplets.
Yes.
Yeah, Fountain, and you did the second level in Droplets, but didn't do Underwater Pot. That's a bit questionable routing.
Yes.
Well, my thought, I'm well, this isn't required dungeon. I'll come back to it if I once I have cape and
going
everything.
to the second Ruby path there is absolutely fine. To keep going after that kind of means you have the intention to do Octo, because that's the really slow path that makes Octo slow. So you probably just want to skip that if you don't intend to do Octo, and I don't think you intend to do Octo. And in this situation like this, yeah, you're gonna last location Octo probably, and that's fine.
Yeah, but my thought process there was I didn't have the intention of doing Octa there, but I figured I didn't want to have to go through the dark maze and stuff again when I
but
if I
going
came
through
back.
the dark maze again when you've already done it and already opened everything isn't actually that bad compared to what you did. Compared to going from that point to the lever, going through the dark maze again is not that bad.
Yeah, and if you quick walk...
And you're more likely to not actually need to do it.
Right.
And then
even
when
if you
did
just find Cape, you can then just jump over from the blue warp and you don't need to do that
exactly.
again.
After doing the left-hand side, you get the blue warp, and then from the blue warp, you basically lose no time.
Yeah, well, you didn't have Cape at the time, but...
Right.
Yeah.
Unless
yeah,
Cape is on Octo.
Unless
locked
Cape is on
behind it.
Octo, so that's the gamble that you have to do.
But
And
yeah,
I was
it's
kind of hoping for that. I just thought it would be morbidly hilarious that
Yes.
the Cape was on Octo.
Yes. Something good on
Oh yeah, no, that
on
would have
Octo.
put you way ahead, but then
Yeah.
it was also just could see Artemis just thinking about how to get to places in...
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I didn't know how to get to the Minish Woods area.
That just
Yeah.
cost you time, and that's that combined with the seed where you pretty much had to do everything
Yes.
just meant that Myth was gonna have a big advantage here.
Yeah, when I finally figured out, I literally had one of those oh moments, and I just felt so stupid. I just wasn't thinking about them. Why is it saying I can go there? I don't see how I can get there.
Yeah, if you've never done that, that's...
Yeah, the vanilla stuff in this game is the weirdest, and you always forget about it. It's oh yeah, you can do that to reach that place. My favourite is getting to Lake Hylia with flippers and mitts.
Well, not even flippers and mitts.
Yeah, well, you don't...
Key lane,
no, just
getting
those,
to the log cabin the vanilla way with London Key.
Oh, yeah, with
Did
the
you enjoy
cane.
the vanilla London Key?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
like that.
was that threw me for a loop. Of everything to pop out of that pot, I was not expecting that to be there.
I'd already
Yeah.
started quick warping. I was like, wait.
Wait, that's a London Key.
Yeah, I have the thought, I'm oh, that's a key. Wait, that's supposed to be there.
Yes.
In the early route, were you guys shouting at me to rush Royal Crypt and Cave of Flames before I was going there? 'Cause...
Well, not really, because it happened that your thorough clearing pretty much put you guys neck and neck with all of us.
Yes.
Yes. Because I rushed it, but yeah, I told them go back
Artemis
and
just
get everything.
rushed progression more than Myth did, and it kind of made you guys even, like, entering Cloud Orbs, entering Krenel
Oh, that's funny.
at pretty
Yes.
much the same times.
I just felt like after Krenel, I was also starting to think, I think my routing is really boring to watch.
Oh,
Let's
God.
do
It
something
probably would have been
stupid.
if you were up against, like, someone else, but with you guys syncing up because of that, it was kind of interesting.
Yes.
Yeah. Also, I was really disappointed with my execution today. It was crap. Like, my Deepwood was horrendous. Do not watch that back.
Yeah, there were some questionable things in there.
It
Yeah.
took
Like, you know you can't get up
minute
the
longer.
stairs from swimming.
Yeah, I was thinking, why am I here? Why am I doing this? I shouldn't be here. And
Well, there's
I
an
was moving
element.
up the button.
That's a good enough reason to be there.
Yes.
Yeah, like I should have just rushed the boss key and left, or just not gone there until I had nearly go mode.
But yeah, any other comments from you
Yes.
guys? Or
No, not really.
So ArtemisMyths, have you been enjoying the tournament so far? Because this is this is your first time in the tournament, even though it's season 2.
Right, no, I've been enjoying it. I literally just joined it. I'm like, I've been wanting to learn this. This is a nice way to do it by trial by fire. Like, I'm just here to have a good time.
Yeah, same. Yeah,
like,
Sharky's the same way.
that is a good way to get into
Yes.
Reno too. Just make sure that you have something that you committed to, like a tournament like this, and that you need to actually go get better for. And
I mean, yeah, because like, I've wanted to like pick this up, like at least play it like for the past couple of months, and I just never had like a motivation to do so. So it's like, well, I have races. I guess I kind of have to do at least a couple seeds.
yeah,
Oh yeah, you're forced into 5 seats here.
Yes.
yes, no, you'll continue to be paired against other opponents.
Yes.
And to be honest, it being like completely fresh, you can look at you can have a comparison between your first and last races and see how much of an improvement you've had.
Yeah, like my problem so far has just been like some of the boss fights. Like, that was the reason why I was kind of glad to see the time stop when it did, because I was going to be going into Fortress or Palace boss, and I've had quite the rough time with that boss fight recently.
York can be rough.
That was the main reason I activated the red ward, because both times that I haven't done it, I've like died to the boss. And like, you know, like just in practice, I'm just like, well, it's already 4 hours in. We're just gonna back there. We're just gonna stop.
If you are not completely confident in York, always activate the red orb. It's just not like it's always possible to die there. Like if you use down thrust, it gets easier, and with the amounts of hearts you had, you should be fine. But then it's
yeah, like that's what I think when I have 17 hearts, and 17 hearts is still apparently not enough.
Well,
it's not just about like. Do you know the down thrust thread on Georg?
I do, yes.
Okay, because that makes it way easier.
Also,
yeah, like I just
the orbs do a whole heart of damage. So it's like really important to dodge those orbs when they're heading your way. Like actively dodge them.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, the Georg is. I mean, if you always do basically exactly the same movement in Georg, the orbs become very predictable in the directions they come from. So it's almost scripted, but not exactly. Like there's a little bit of RNG involved that you have to slightly adapt to, but it's mostly scripted. That if you just like do the boss fight 10 times in a row, you'll get a feeling for where all of the orbs fly from.
Okay.
And you'll just like, it's not really, you don't even need to know where the orbs come from. You just get a natural feeling for the time of, okay, I've done enough slashes here, time to move back and let the orbs fly past and then move back with my clones. Because it's really important you don't lose your clones as well, because all the time you're there trying to get your clones back up, it keeps just shooting more orbs at you.
Yes. So, anything else before we wrap things up? We do have at least one more match that's going to get restreamed later today.
Yeah, there's one match that's starting in like 45 minutes that's not going to get a restream, and then there's one in I don't even know how long?
about
2
just
hours,
under
15 minutes?
well just about. So there's one in about not quite 45 minutes, another one in not quite an hour. Yeah, there's
No, the Splits vs. Dex is cancelled.
Oh, it got canceled?
Yep.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Francois vs. Bluesy does get a restream though. Is
Yes.
in 2 hours 50 minutes.
Yeah. And Bluesy specifically requested that I roll for them. So
Oh.
yeah, sorry about that. He requested it last night during last night's restream. So
No one wants my seeds.
yes.
I wonder
No,
why.
I wonder why.
Everyone's getting Hendra seeds, and
Yeah.
they're far worse than mine.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I heard about the 4-sword on Georg. Yeah, Ibot distinctly remembers that because that was one of his races.
I had a
I
four
distinctly
sword on
remembering
pot
dying to
push.
York.
Oh,
That's
God.
neat.
I had a 4-sword on pot push in a practice seat I did, and like the
Ew.
last like quad tops was like deep. It was non-required palace. The
Well,
last cloud tops was like
But
deep in
did you have
fortress.
to climb to pot push twice because power braces were deeper in Palace?
No, but I do remember
Because that
gripping or
happened in that
like
seat too.
oh god, that would make it even worse.
Like pot push was a small key, and I guess technically we didn't need to open the big chest, but you're not gonna skip it in that spot. Like you were just looking for Farsod.
I was really glad that at least pot push didn't have anything today because I would have cried because I had no idea where the power bases were.
Well, they would have been further in Palace because Myth's last location Palace.
Yeah, I was. I was just completely relieved going through Palace. I think Palace was like the one thing I executed okay today.
I got cane skip. I was proud about that. Took a couple tries, but I got it.
Is we ready to wrap things up? So, as we said, we do have one match later today that's going to get restreamed. Unfortunately, the Splits Happen versus Dax is not going to be rescheduled. It was canceled just because one of the runners just had something come up and couldn't figure out how to reschedule in time for the deadline. We do have some more matches tomorrow as well. At least one should be getting a restream, but I believe we're still going to be having the weekly tomorrow.
Are we going to have Trez in this one?
Are you going to? You have a better chance of
I'm
playing
going to ask
the
every
lotto.
week.
No, you're going to have a better chance of winning the lotto and not playing than just joining a weekly. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, we will still have the weekly tomorrow.
Yes, so the weekly. And so then after the weekly, there's going to be Thydor Horse versus Nesmin. So that
Yes.
should be interesting.
That'll be
match.
an interesting one.
Yes. So
And later today, we do have Bluesy versus
Yes.
Francois, which is a rematch from the
last
Yes.
year, last season one,
That's also going to be an
rematch,
interesting
grudge match. So should be interesting. And then on Monday we have Agudi versus AK Goldfish versus Hendris. So, and that would be the last match
Yeah, that's-
of Swiss round 2.
Yeah.
So,
So we'll be done with this round a bit
Yes.
ahead of schedule, but
okay. So, I think with that we're just going to wrap things up. So, thank you very much, iBot, for doing commentary today. Always appreciate
always a
it.
pleasure.
And thank you, Tomotach and Nimbus, for doing tracking. Very much appreciate it. So, and GG's Myth and ArtemisMyths, good luck with your next matches coming up. And I guess we hope to see you later today. I am going to send you over to an Ocarina of Time bingo tournament that's going on right now. It is quarterfinals, and that is on ZSR3. So, with that, we hope to see you later today for the upcoming Minish Cap Randomizer match. So thanks again and take care. and have a good day. Bye.
See ya.
Goodbye.
Right.